Welcome back. This is Fantastic Pains and How We Hide Them. I'm not Chris.
And I'm not Karina.
But we're here together.
As usual.
For more fun times and
Shenanigans.
If this is your very first time joining us, welcome to the Madhouse. This is our sibling duo podcast / YouTube channel about life with chronic and invisible conditions and about the people who live those lives.
Yep.
Where can they find us?
You can find us on Audible, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon. That's the one I always forget.
That was the one I was thinking of.
And then a lot of little sites too.
Yep.
You can also watch us on YouTube if you want to see the chaos, and then you can join us on Discord.
Yes.
Or in the lives that we have on Friday and Saturday if you want to talk to us or have ideas or questions.
And just hang out.
Yeah.
It's fun and crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So today is going to be a fun day. We're going to be talking about pain management and doctor biases within, which is going to be really cool.
Yeah. They're not directly linked, but
no,
they are.
But, I mean,
they are, but they aren't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's everything with this channel is like they are, but they aren't.
Loosely based on
Why
a real
are we
story.
talking about these two things together? I don't know.
Yeah.
We just did. There you go.
Yeah. We haven't done like a full episode on pain management by itself.
Right.
The do's and don'ts, the whys and hows, the if and whens. All of those.
Oh my God. All of them forever. Great. Okay. Well, then before we get started, it is time for the weekly recap.
Check in.
Indeed.
I went first last week.
I had a dentist appointment.
You did.
I had a root canal.
Surprise root canal.
Yeah.
You thought it was an extraction.
Yeah. So we did a root canal and we're going to do the extraction later.
Yeah.
Which will be so fun. I'm so excited. Wow. But that in turn triggered some FaceTime, and not in a fun way, in a trigeminal neuralgia kind of way.
Evan woke up for a bit.
Yep.
And he was a jerk.
And he's hanging out like in my cheekbone and then
Interesting.
back in my like ear and up into my eyebrow. It's been great. And then to like here on my teeth.
Yeah.
On the bottom.
For the newbies, Evan is the name of the visible snake that lives in her face.
Yes.
That causes her trigeminal neuralgia.
Yeah.
So.
That's just how that goes. The body's name is Karen also. So now you're caught up. Well done. So yeah, I did a lot of like moving and sorting things because we're trying to get the house cleaned up.
Hey, it worked out for me. I got an air conditioner out of the deal.
True. You did indeed.
I fucking love that.
Yeah. And we're going to get you a chair.
A chair.
A chair.
Because mine, I don't know if anyone knows how bad you don't see my chair. But this is the armrest in all sport mode. Activate. This is how I sit when I play games. Is like this. Because I'm just cool, man.
The
I'm just
ergonomics
chilling.
of sitting like this when you use
with the mouse
controller.
against the blanket behind me. Like, yeah, I got this.
Supposed to be better for you somehow?
Yeah, no, it was not well made. This is like the third break it's had, and I've repaired it and repaired it and repaired it.
Right. Well, and this is a weld problem.
Yes, it is. It's another metal problem because they use sheet metal.
Yeah. Not super easy to fix either, which is obnoxious.
Not worth it either.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We're going to get you a chair.
Woo!
And that'll be good.
I'm excited.
What the heck else happened this week?
You did therapy?
Oh, I did therapy. And we're still going round and round and round. Where it's like, avoidance. And I'm like, but not what? Okay. Maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. And we got into like, tell me about your childhood. And that was fun.
That's a word.
It was good
To describe it.
Yeah. That was like, oh, okay.
Oh my.
Yeah. So yeah, therapy has been really interesting. We're doing a new program. It's a thing.
It is a thing.
It's a thing. I don't know.
We had storms this week.
Yes.
I know there were like 2 days you were laid out.
Yeah. Well, because Tuesday I was numbed up and messed up and exhausted, and my jaw hurt really bad from, let me just pry it open and keep it that way for 3 hours. That's how long that was. 3 hours. I did the root canal and the crown.
They give you a bite block?
No.
Oh, that's mean.
Yeah. Nothing.
Oh.
It was great. But yeah, I don't think there was much else to my week.
I hung out with kids this week. which was nice. We did. What did we do this week? I edited the episode like right off the bat. I was like, let's do it. I was going home.
It was a good episode.
It was. I was surprised at how good it was.
He thinks they're all terrible.
No. Okay, so there's a cycle. There's a life cycle. There's in the moment, love it. Right afterwards, I can tell if it's good or bad. That's like my objective.
Well, and
phase.
He usually tells me. So if I'm at home by that point, he'll message me and be like, "That was a good episode."
Yeah, and then there's after that, there's just it's horrible. Nothing went well. No one likes us. Everyone hates us. And then that goes away on Friday.
Yeah,
when I upload it.
Oh, we had a wonderful live.
Oh yeah, 2 lives. I like both of them.
It was fun.
Both lives. Again, you guys should join us.
It's really
Friday
fun.
evening, Saturday mornings, Mountain Time.
Yep.
MTN.
Yes. Sorry, didn't mean to.
No. That's a good point.
I was like, oh yeah, my recap. We had a really fun lives.
We did
good stuff.
We had lots of people.
Yeah.
People that we hadn't seen in a while too.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Good to check in with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And more encouragement because.
Yeah, you guys are awesome, by the way.
It's amazing. The group of people that we have like collected within our Discord and within our subscribers are just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. We love you.
Best trash pandas ever.
Indeed. Sorry. Go ahead.
Let's see. Oh. I have 2 interesting stories. Interesting story the first. I had to refill my meds again. And they started off by giving me problems last week.
Yes.
Where they're like, well, you need a consultation. No, well, now you need, we're out of stock. And, now you need more doctor's approval.
We're going to check with the same doctor 7 times.
And then Monday came around and we went to go fill it. And they're like, it's still not in stock. Okay, whatever. So we wait a day, go back the next day, and we just pick it up with no hassle. No, like, argument, no fight. Yeah. Just, here you go. After I didn't do a consult, I didn't do any of the stuff they said I needed to do. Yeah. So whatever lies that guy was feeding Jen.
They just do. And they're allowed to do it.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
Yep.
God.
But we have the pain situation under control for like the next month, which is nice.
Yeah.
And then I went to pain management, which was not good or bad. It was just really interesting.
Yeah.
So
this was an intake appointment.
Yeah. We went in.
First time.
We did like the full medical history thing, which was a pain in the butt because it took us like an hour. There's so much stuff. And then the doctor came in and he sat down and he's like, so what are you here for? And I was like, pain management, I guess. Like, I didn't know how to answer without being like a smart ass. So like, I just need a new clinic, I guess. And he's like, well, we're not taking Medicaid patients for pain management at the moment. And I was like, oh, okay.
This is a bummer.
I was like ready to go. I was like, all right, no, I get it. And then he's like, but we do have ketamine treatments that you can do. Okay. And that's the way he spoke. It was great. And he went on to describe it first. He's like, ketamine sucks. It makes you puke. You have to wear a diaper. You're there for 6 hours. You can't eat or drink. And you need to bring a blanket and eye cover.
Oh, yeah.
And
so
I was like,
don't wind up with vertigo.
Dude, sounds great. Let's do it. But then he talked, like, the doctor himself had fibro, which was really nice because he completely understood where I was coming from.
Yeah.
And he was describing how the weather can get to be such a pain, like extreme pain can be caused just by the weather. And I was like, this guy gets me.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. But if I went the ketamine route, I'd have to pay out of pocket, and it's like $4,000. So I might have to save up for that and try it. I want to try it.
Yeah.
The idea being that it rewires your pain pathways.
Right.
So that your brain perceives pain differently. And it's not a cyclical loop anymore of ouch, and then signals, and then ouch.
Overactive nerves. Yeah. And yeah.
So it was a good appointment. It just didn't have any like...
There's no next step.
Right. Which kind of sucks. But yeah. I don't know. I handled it well. I didn't let it get me down at all. I was excited. I mean, that would have been a big deal. Yeah, like, oh, great, now I don't have pain management.
Well, and now, like, that's a huge growth right there because instead of it being that blow, it's this, like, okay, not yet.
Exactly, yeah.
And you just keep moving instead of stopping there and being like, it's all over.
Exactly.
So it is a mark of your growth that you are able to be like, okay, next thing.
Right.
Let's keep going.
Yeah. And he was cool. He was just a cool guy. Like he has EDS
the whole
patients.
clinic, apparently.
Oh my God, they were all great. It was just, that's why I'm bummed, because it would have been such a good clinic to go to. If we get out of pocket insurance, then I could probably go there, because they only aren't accepting Medicaid pain patients.
Right.
So maybe when Jen's rolls over and I have insurance, I don't know. I still want to hit Kaiser though.
Yeah. Well, because Kaiser would be like, what? It's like $150 a month or something.
I think.
Something like that.
Yeah, for just me
not
though.
Bad. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, this is like, I've had these thoughts a lot about being like, marriage might not have been the move.
Right? Legally.
Like, can we get divorced so that we can get our financial
Jen and I had this conversation the first year we got married. We're like, taxes are going to be horrible, because I have like a back due amount from when a house got messed up. They lost my payment, and then they charged me double because I didn't make a payment, but I made the payment, because they found it like years later, and they'd already withdrawn the money at the time. So they sent, it's a whole thing. Anyway, but at the time we're like, maybe we should just not file together. Like maybe we get divorced. Right. No, but there's injured spouse filing, so she's able to file taxes without my side being affected.
Good.
So it worked out. And then we did the lives. The lives were great. I can't say enough how much I enjoyed both of them.
Yeah.
I needed that.
The lives were really good. Mm-hmm. It was just fun. And it's good to, like, I don't know. I can't say enough, and I say it episode after episode after episode, is just how grateful we are and how blown away we are after every single live, and just the wonderful people that we've collected over time. Like, there's a lot of times we split ways. We go home, or I go home, and we'll message each other afterwards and be like, how did we collect these wonderful, amazing human beings who like us? That's weird. What?
Not only do they like us, but they are like us.
Yes.
Which is
and we can relate. And like yesterday was so much fun being like, we sat down and we just had an ADHD moment of like, hey, let's talk about the random facts that you know for no reason.
Oh God, that was fun.
We did. And everyone was hyped about it. Yeah. Like, that was the best part, was I just like spat out a fact and Doggo picked it right up and ran with it. And I was like, yes, here we go.
No, it was great.
Info dumping. It's the best.
And I learned a thing or two.
Yeah, we did.
It's true.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
But we're like eternally grateful for you guys. Mm-hmm. And if you're new here, like, don't be alone.
Yes.
And if you
the big takeaway.
Want to, you can not be alone with us.
Right.
And there's an amazing community of really lovely, wonderful people in that.
I want to preface it by saying, give it a shot. Because I know a lot of people have communities and you walk in and it's weird. Like, you're not a part of the group and people
be a
have
lurker
clicked
if
up.
You want to be a lurker. That's
like,
okay.
Legit, just show up. Give it a shot.
Yeah.
Because they are amazing.
Yeah.
If there's any problems that we've had, we post it. And there's usually someone with an answer or at least leading us in the right direction.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So
it's just wonderful.
That's our spiel about the life.
Sorry. I'm like, my heart hurts now in a good way.
Yeah.
I'm all sappy.
Oh, shampy.
Okay. How do we want to jump into this?
I wanted to start
pain management. What?
Yeah, pain management.
Do you want to start with your experience with pain management, or do you want to back up for the reasons, the who?
I think
and
taking the shame out of it, basically, and then talking about who needs it, when's it appropriate, and then working from there.
Okay. So what is the basic, like, outsider view of pain management that leads to that shame? What are the stigmas around pain management?
Well, and this is interesting because it's like, it's a stereotype, but it's accurate. Places that would just feed you pills.
Yeah.
Like, I've had clinics that are like that, and I did not like them because it wasn't at all addressing the problem.
Right. Well, even now there are some, like, we were looking yesterday, they're called like Med Now.
Yeah.
Or like it's very obvious that they're like, this is your one-stop shop for drugs.
That's the place I was at with David.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Med Now.
Right? They're like, it's not it's medicine, medication now.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
But yeah, so I could talk about like my very first story about it and why I ended up in it. So I was being treated by a nurse practitioner for like a year. Deanna. She was the first one to take me seriously, right? And so she was in charge of all of it. She was doing referrals. She was looking things up. She was doing research. She was taking care of all the medications.
Yeah.
And then it got to be too much for her to handle.
Mm-hmm.
And she had to close down because Medicaid changed their pricing. And she couldn't sustain her business anymore, so she had to shut down. And that's when I went to the first pain management. It was when I went from her to nothing. I was like, I need something.
Right.
And most doctors that I would see were like, we can't prescribe you pain meds on the reg because...
Right. Well, because that's the other thing is that I think it's important to know that your general practitioners, their supervisory, like, protocols limit how much... and how often they can prescribe pain medication.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And they feel it hard at the place I go to because they're a teaching clinic. So they're very strict. And the doctor who sits above everyone is usually not too amenable to anything. So, But, I mean, I've learned. Mm-hmm. I'll get to that good stuff later. Yeah. The good stuff. Good stuff. I went to a clinic and I went there I didn't want to go in the first place because like, I don't need pain management. Because there's like the stigma behind it, right? Yeah. Like I didn't want to be a pill seeker. Yes. And I was worried that if I went to doctors after having pain management that they'd be like, oh, yikes, bro. We can't work with you.
Well, because, okay, no matter how much you're taking and how responsible you've been, on your medical record, if you've been taking medication, they always put, it's like addiction risk or something.
There's risk and then there's dependency. Like my other one said that I was over medicated.
Oh yeah, that was the one.
My record, until it was fixed by a doctor who trusted me and looked at my record, it said over medicated. So no matter where I went, that was always there.
Or like abuse risk or something.
Yeah. It's like, excuse me.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was a whole thing. But the problem at that clinic was that they just handed out pain meds.
Right.
Which was fine in the beginning, but it was not helping the way I needed it to.
Yeah.
And I recognized it. It's like something's missing and I don't know what.
Right.
And I finally had a meltdown.
Was that where they had you on like the highest of the high stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we tried things too, like fentanyl patches and Butrans patches, all the extended release everything. And they all made me sick except for one of them. I forgot what it's called. It makes me sick now when I take it, so I can't take any extended release.
Oh, Jesus.
Anything, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was there. The problem would be I'd go in and be like, so I'm having this problem. And they wouldn't even address the problem. They'd be like, oh, so your pain's increased. Let's up your meds.
Yeah.
That's not what I was looking for, though. I mean, sure, that helps people that want drugs.
Yeah.
But I was like, I need something more. And I finally had a meltdown with Jen. She wasn't in trouble. It's not, I didn't yell at Jen.
He was having a meltdown. Jen was supporting.
Jen was present and was like, what's going on, buddy? And I was like, I hate everything. And I was talking about how I need a place that does more than just pain management. Like I need someone that'll do PT even, was what I was thinking, to like tie it in. And then we found New Health. Mm-hmm. And that was my first good experience, which was everything. They did mental health, they did therapy, they did psych visits, they did PT referrals, a lot of small surgeries like RF ablations and injections they could do because they had like a little surgery.
Right. So as long as it was minor.
Yeah. And they had imaging. They had everything in-house. I miss it. And then it closed down because it was mismanaged.
Yep.
And but when I was getting started, I didn't know. I was like lost. I was like, oh, I guess the answer is just more pills.
Right.
And I like on a level I knew I didn't like that, but
like,
I thought that's what
to this forever, and it only gets bigger and bigger.
Right. Like what would I just keep taking pain meds until I'm on like crazy doses, and then then I die? Like that's not a future I want.
Right.
No. So, I mean, it took a long time to figure that out. I literally had to have that suicidal episode.
Yeah.
That it was during that I was like, I need something different.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what it was, but.
Well, and that happened like right before you and I started seeing each other more regularly. Mm-hmm. And then by the time you had New Health, you were having such really positive experiences and I was floundering.
Right.
Because I was like, what did I have? Because I had a different experience, but similar, because I was with my GP.
Yeah.
And he could prescribe some. And I had to fight for that. Like, I had to really give examples of how I had been using it responsibly.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I remember
I had some from, like, an urgent care visit.
Yeah.
Because I had horrendous sciatica.
Yep.
And I had like 30 pills, and I made it last 9 months.
Yeah.
And I had to give him that example, and he was like, oh.
Yeah.
Because he was like ready to shut it down entirely. And I was like, here's how I use them. And he was like, oh, okay. So we started off with like 14 pills over 2 months or something like that. And built up. But by the time, I don't know, things were just starting to get worse.
Yeah.
I was having more downhill spirals and surgeries and things like that. Yeah. And I really just was like, I need to be in pain management so that I can do this without having to be like, okay, you gotta hype yourself up to go ask dad if you can go to the party. Like,
I still have that conversation with myself, but it's Walgreens is the dad in this situation.
Right. And it's hard because you know that your GP is like, they want to look after you, but they also, there's a lot of limitations.
Yep.
And so I would ask, like, can I do pain management? And he was like, there's really nothing for you like that. And they were like, we don't usually send people out of network.
Right.
And so that was where I was when you were in New Health.
Yeah.
And then New Health imploded.
It did. Secretly, like, you can go back and watch the episode, but there were 4 people that owned the company. 3 of them were overseas, and they waited till one of the one that was in States to be on vacation to shut it down while she was gone. So she came back and there was nothing. Yeah. And no one had taken care of the patients. They just shut it down.
Yeah. Because it had been gone for 2 weeks before you even, like, found out.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
And everybody found out that way.
Yeah. So. Which is just insane because it's the good ones that seem to crash.
Yeah. Well, their model was brilliant. They were even presenting it to, like, boards and stuff in like state and up in national territory. And I was like, I'll be a guinea pig. Like, I'll go testify if you guys want. I'm here for it. Yeah. Because it was so nice. Yeah. I learned, like, great coping skills, less alone. Because we did group therapies and stuff.
Which is so cool. Mm-hmm. Like, that's just amazing to be able to do group therapy with other people who are in pain and get to learn from each other, which is just amazing. Yeah. It's just sad that it had to
go away. Yeah. And now here we are looking. So, but I'll find a place. Right. Like, it'll work out. I still have Dr. Anna. Mm-hmm. So my psych stuff is still mostly managed. Yeah. And I could see Libby if I wanted to. Right. Like, I still have her contact info. Yeah. But
after New Health.
After New Health was limbo, basically. I was I followed one of the doctors from New Health over to this new place. Yeah. And then we went with him for a long time. And it was kind of the same as before. Like, he didn't really have a lot he could do for me. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah, so it's just so limited.
Yeah. It's a pain. But I think the takeaway for at least getting started is that you need to be okay with accepting the help, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, I forced myself into it, but I loved it after. Yeah. When I found the right fit, I should say.
Well, and I was lucky I had, like, you beforehand. Right. So I could look upon, like, what you were experiencing and go, okay, so this is kind of what I want. Yeah. And then with Kaiser, I was able to do, it's not pain management, it's integrated pain services. Yeah. And they have a really interesting model too, because
it seems kind of like similar to what I was doing with New Health.
So I have, like, a pain management doctor. I have a pain management psychologist.
And a pharmacist.
Who all work with me to, like,
that's
make
the coolest
sure my
part.
Stuff is balanced.
Like, I was unbalanced for years until I had the septic event, and then that one guy fine-tuned my dosages because he had the connection straight to my kidneys and liver, so he knew what was going on at all times.
Well, and that's the really cool part, is you get to kind of sidestep any biases because they are all looking at it, and so they can fill in the blanks for each other, and they can lean on each other. And even when I asked to increase, and I was like, I don't want to increase the dose because I'm taking them at 7.5, and I have for a long time. And I was like, I don't want to increase the dose. I want to increase the amount because I'm taking them at this dose.
Yeah.
And my pain doc did not understand. She was like, oh, no. And then my pharmacist was able to be like,
exactly.
No, this is what she's asking for. She wants to take the 7.5 and have 30 doses instead of 30 pills. So now we're in a pretty good rhythm.
Yeah.
Where I think, when am I filling? Every 2 months?
Yeah. Like well, and you have a great team to communicate with.
Yes.
Like if something comes up, you feel free to talk to them, and there's a way to reach them.
Yeah.
Which is great. I didn't have that at most places. Like if I reached out,
you never knew.
No, you would get the front desk only, and then the front desk was always too swamped.
They're like, I don't know.
Right? Like
they can't answer medical questions.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people like hating on Kaiser for a lot of things, but I think Kaiser can be really well worth it if you are somebody who sees the doctor a lot.
Right.
Because that's how, like, even going through changes in my team, my other doctors have helped to fill in those blanks. And like the first time I changed neurologists, my GP was like, you should get a new one.
Right.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
And that was never an experience that I had having somebody confirm that I was not being treated well.
Right.
And then that happened again just recently. And so I'm getting in with a new neurologist that's recommended by my pain psychologist.
Yeah.
Which is hopefully
super
really
cool.
good. Yeah.
All that to say, as a starting point, it's okay to ask for help. Like,
yeah.
I know that there is a stigma, and a lot of people will have a hard time with that, especially people might not, you know what I mean, enjoy it so much. Like if I got judged hard when
That's what I was going to ask. Like, how did people respond if you said that you were in pain management?
It was usually like, oh, you know what I mean? Like I don't know about that one. Because there's like a weird stigma to it. But really it's just, if you found a good place, if you find the right pain management, it's a place where you look for solutions to your problems. Not
right. Like you're working through things and you're managing the pain in the meantime.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge. Because I remember even on like 14 pills over 3 months or whatever the heck it was, I had people being like, oh, be careful. Like you could get addicted. So people get addicted all the time. I was like, it's 14 over 3 months. Like how?
Right.
How could you get addicted?
Well, and for me, like when I meet new docs and I'm going over stuff and I can see them being really skeptical, I always like to drop I've tried everything. I for a while they kept trying to put me on fentanyl patches and I can't do them.
Yeah.
It's like I had access to like an unlimited supply of fentanyl patches and I was like, man, can't take it.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay.
Because that's the thing is like, we're not looking for a buzz. There's no like, oh, I want to get drowsy. Because
let's get drowsy in here.
It's not fun. Half the time we're fighting not to throw up the pain medication that we've taken.
Oh my god, dude.
We're trying to like take a break from being in agony all the time.
Right?
That's what we're doing.
Anymore, it's like if I have something I need to do, I have to medicate before I do it. And then I can do what I need to do. I just have like done it recently, so it's in my brain. But there have been a lot of times where I'll medicate and then I'm really productive. Right.
And then I'm really sad. Because I'm like, holy cow, look how much more I can do and how much longer I can do it when I have pain medication. Yeah. And that's not like, I can't make that a regular thing. I can't
It wouldn't work
that
anyway.
person. Right, exactly.
Like,
because if you don't know, Ehlers-Danlos is weird, and we respond to medication weird, and we digest things weird.
Yeah, we have a weird metabolism, like system, I should say. Like, I metabolize things either instantly or not at all.
Yes, that's always how it's been. It's like all at once or not at all, and that's it. Or you wait, and by not at all, I mean like you're waiting hours.
Oh yeah, it'll hit you way later in the day.
Where I've taken it at like noon. And then nothing has happened. And then it's like 8 p.m. Yep. And all of a sudden it pops and it kicks in. And you're like, where were you?
That happened last night.
Really?
Yeah. To both Jen and I. Like she was taking she has meds for her sinuses.
Yeah.
She took her meds and I took my meds. And then nothing happened.
Yeah.
And we looked at each other at like 3 a.m. We're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
What is this? It's so frustrating.
And then you play like pigeon superstition games where
Yeah.
you're like, if I do this, then this, then this, maybe I can get it to happen on time.
Right.
And so you're like, I have to drink enough water, take the med, and then eat immediately right on top of it in order for it to work.
Yeah.
And then even then, sometimes I'll still get sick.
Yeah.
And then again, like you're fighting not to throw them up half the time because you're like, oh, my body did not enjoy that. But you know what? I need it.
I had a point I was going to say, but I lost
I'm sorry. I talked right over it.
No, you're fine. It had something to do with what we were talking about. It was pertinent a minute ago, but
metabolizing.
before that.
Oh, okay.
Like, don't know. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, I have no idea.
That's a long ago.
But yeah, I think understanding, and here's the thing, understanding that there is risk to pain medication.
Yes.
And respecting it as a tool.
Mm-hmm.
It's like gun safety, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to have a healthy fear of that thing and a healthy respect for that thing.
Yep.
And then proceed with that in mind.
Yeah. I mean, that's why we keep Narcan on hand.
Yeah.
And we always make sure it's not expired.
Right.
Like we keep up on it.
I need to refill mine. Oops.
Do it. It's important.
Well, and I keep it in the car, or I was keeping it in the car.
Yeah, because you never know when you'll encounter somebody.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Well, there was one day at Taco Bell, guy passed out in the drive-thru, and I had to call 911, and they couldn't break his window, and it was a mess.
Wow.
But yeah, like, especially with the fentanyl nonsense that's happening right now.
Dude.
Counterfeit pills everywhere, everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
all the time. But, and that's the value of like pain management as a standalone.
Mm-hmm.
But as it applies to other things, it can get really complicated.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How have doctors treated you when you come back and you're like, I'm in pain management?
Oh, there's always a moment. Like when you're seeing a new doctor and they go through the list and like, oh, so you're on these meds. Where did you get them? I've had that. Where are they from? And I'm like, pain management. I'm like, oh, you're in pain management?
Yeah.
Why? Are you in pain? Yes, I am.
Why am I here?
You know what I mean, though,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's like an accusation first. Where did you get them?
Mm-hmm.
Who wrote that for you?
What are those for?
For you to shut the fuck.
They're the pills I take when I'm tired of listening to you. No.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say, because it had to do with like the way we metabolize. It was that. I was wrong when I said that. I'm sorry, my bad. Where we can't take constant, like my last prescription was a every 6 hours type thing.
Yeah.
Not great for the system. And it loses its efficacy real quick with us.
Yes.
So I'd have to take breaks from it and then go back. So like what I'm trying to set up now is more akin to what you do and what I've been trying to do with like the stuff that I'm getting from Bamba, like urgent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like you write it out until you're like, okay, I either need to do something or I have no more bandwidth to process being in pain. Because that's really what it is. It's not necessarily about like on a pain scale.
Right.
I mean, there are times where we're like, oh, that's 10 and I just am not going to do that right now.
No, but
we're going to bail out. But a lot of the time it's the like, I've processed being in pain all day, every day, forever. And now I just have no bandwidth for this and I need it to like, I need to kick it and take a break.
Yeah.
But yep. The way we process medication is interesting because, like you said, it loses efficacy extremely quickly.
Yeah, especially when you're taking the 24/7.
Yeah, because you give the body time to adapt to that, and it's like, oh yeah, we know what that is. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, put it away.
Put it away. It doesn't mean anything anymore.
So okay, here's a question. Like to progress the conversation, how would you go about the conversation if you decide that you want pain management with your primary? How do you bring that up without sounding a certain way? You know what I mean? Like how do you tactfully be like, I'm in a lot of pain, this is what I'm looking into,
I would like a referral, please.
Right.
Because that's the other part. You need to have a referral for almost all of it. You can't just walk in somewhere and be like, I hurt, help.
Yeah,
they're gonna be like,
out recently.
No. I don't know. I think it would be a lot like how I went about it with my doctor, where it was like, look, we've tried these things.
Mm-hmm.
I've done A, B, and C, all of the like prereq stuff. Because here's the thing, you are going to have to do prerequisite things.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
You might be asked to try injections. You might be asked to go through therapy.
Yep.
Don't be offended if they ask you to go through therapy. Like there's really high quality research.
Yeah, I was gonna
that's
say,
talking about the connection between therapy or like your social emotional state
and your pain levels. Yeah, like be open to trying things like first, because they might work, and if they don't, they still have other things they can try, which is huge, as we always do. We're like, let's do it, let's try it.
Yep.
Every time.
Yeah.
Like ketamine, sure, it's gonna suck, but I'll try it.
Yeah.
Not looking forward to that.
Ugh. That'll be a really interesting thing. We'll have to look into funding that. We're gonna set up.
I need someone to fund my ketamine addiction, please. Please send me money. I want money.
I've never tried it before, but
doctors are gonna give it to me. I'll wear a diaper, I swear. Give me the money. Can I have the money? That's how I would pitch to a boardroom.
You're not addicted to ketamine. You just keep forgetting that you took it and take more. Sorry.
We're gonna get investors lined up to help fund my ketamine addiction.
This is devolving. Oh my god.
Whatever.
But yeah, so I think you would approach your doctor. You want there to be a level of honesty between yourself and that doctor.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't have a good rapport with that person, it's going to be really hard to have them understand where you're coming from without immediately being blinded by whatever bias they carry.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, they're going to encounter people who are just after pills. They're going to encounter people who don't want to try anything else.
Yeah, there are reasons they act that way.
Right. Like, they are jaded, yes, but there are reasons for that. So you're going to have to build that rapport with that person and really show them that you can be responsible and you can be trusted and that you're communicative.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's more of a like, look, these are the things we've done and tried. I'm still really hurting. It's affecting my functionality.
Mm-hmm.
That is the really important thing, is that like you need to bring it to them in a way that they can understand how it is impacting your day-to-day
the severity of it. Yeah, because we're not going to sit there in the office and cry. We're not going to be like, I'm in so much pain. We got to demonstrate how the pain affects us. Yeah.
And again, like avoiding words like always and never.
Yes.
You don't want to walk in there and be like, I have never ever had a moment of peace. The pain is everywhere all the time.
Melodrama is not the call.
And it's made of sharp knives of hate.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, oh, Jesus. The hate train.
The hate train.
You want to be like, listen, this is the way that the pain is affecting my functionality.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I need more help. And I would really like a referral to pain management to see if there's a more, I want to say like cohesive way to approach my pain and how to manage it.
Yeah. I mean, that's a mindset you should just have in this journey at all. Just be open to trying things and look around, do research. Like if you go to your doctor with some ideas already, if you're like, at this place they try these treatments, maybe we should try that.
Yeah.
Like that's huge.
Yes.
You got to show them that you're not pill seeking.
Right. Right. Well, and I think just being communicative with them in general is going to be really important. There was something that I was thinking of and I can't remember what it was.
It's gone forever.
It is. It's gone.
It'll come to you. Just wait.
Yeah, it was something about. It was right. It was when you were talking. There was something, and now it's gone. It's bummer.
Gone. Point being, feel. I don't want people to feel intimidated. She's got a nose. Go for it.
So it was also like, it's really important that you manage your expectations.
Yes, that's huge.
We talk about this a lot where we're like, when we speak to doctors or surgeons or therapists or whomever, and they go, what is your expectation? What are you hoping to get out of this?
Yeah.
What's your expectation? What can I do for you today? Because that's going to be how they put it out there is, whoa, so what can we do for you today? How can we help you today?
That's them testing the waters.
Yeah. It's important that you manage your expectations and that you are reasonable and grounded in reality.
Mm-hmm.
You want realistic expectations. And for people who are in pain, we don't want to walk in there and be like, I would like you to make it so that I don't hurt anymore.
Right. I need someone to cure me.
Yeah.
Or fix
me.
Yeah.
Or make it go away. Make it stop.
No.
Like, it's not reasonable. You want someone to make it suck less.
Right. My goal is always, every time I get that question, is I just want an improvement.
Mm-hmm.
Anything to make this not as bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually I literally just say, I would like for it to suck a little less.
Yeah.
If we can make it suck less, I'll be happy.
And
like,
yeah, go.
Even the surgeries that we've done, they don't like fix the pain necessarily, but it makes it suck less.
Yeah.
Improves our functionality.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like, I don't know. People are gonna struggle with it. Yeah. Regardless.
Well, and it may be too that pain management might be that mile marker.
That's I was gonna say for me.
Like,
that was like a big admittance there was a problem.
Yes.
And that was not easy at the time.
Because you feel like you're surrendering to the problem.
Right.
But that's not true. You're taking a step to get in control of the problem.
Exactly. You're trying to make it so that you're still functional.
Yeah.
Instead of fighting it and being like, well, I can tough my way through it.
Well, that's the thing. The only thing you're admitting is that you can't do it on your own.
Right.
And that's okay. That
Absolutely.
is okay. You don't have to do it on your own.
Right.
Like, you're not getting a badge for doing it on your own. Get some help. Let people help you.
Mm-hmm.
Because bad things happen when you do it by yourself.
Yep.
And get some therapy while you're at it.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, like, comprehensively, if you can find a place that does everything in-house, great. If you can't, make sure you tack on other things. Like, try PT, get, like, a physical trainer.
Mm-hmm.
Do little things to help you improve physically. And then definitely work on the mental aspect. Like, that made a huge difference for me. Getting my diagnoses straight first, huge. Getting them treated, and then having therapy in that order, fantastic.
Yeah. It's like cleaning house.
Yeah.
You're just organizing it all. But that's the thing. Like, don't be ashamed of needing that help.
Yeah.
And if you know you're not drug seeking, you know you're not drug seeking.
Right. And remember this, if you think that you're not bad enough or that you think you're faking it, if you're doing it alone, you're not doing it for
attention.
Yeah. It's literally happening.
Yeah. That's the big one. Is like, if what's happening is happening to you when you're by yourself, you're probably not doing it for attention.
Yep.
Anything else for this part 1?
Yeah, we'll come back, but we gotta take a break.
Okay. Yeah, it is break time, my dudes, which means you need to do some stuff. I know we're taking a break, but you have to do things. It's complicated. Take your meds.
Do it. Stop sleeping in the alarm. Take your meds.
Yeah.
And while you're taking your meds, maybe take a breather.
Yeah.
Take your meds. Give yourself a 5-minute break. Then go back to what you were doing.
Drink some extra water while you're taking your meds.
You gotta hydrate or you're gonna dehydrate.
Yeah. You don't want to dehydrate.
No dehydrating.
That's bad.
And then also get a snack.
Because you are a snack.
Facts.
And you deserve a snack.
Mm-hmm.
Get it.
Get you a snack.
Yeah. And while you're at it, like, find some sunlight. If there's no sunlight around, do something nice for yourself. Do something that feels good.
Yes.
Yeah. And we're going to go do some of those things, and we'll be right back.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, hi. Do you like Fantastic Pains? Would you like to see more of the Fantastic Pains podcasting crew? If so, you should join our Patreon. The Patreon, as we like to call it, is the new home of our behind-the-scenes content, full uncut recording sessions, our short-form videos such as TikToks and YouTube Shorts, and our past live streams. You can also find some Patreon exclusive content such as our new music reviews, lost episodes, and is the new home of our Mini Voices series, all of which can be found in our higher tier dubbed The Only Pains. The Patreon is the best way to support the podcast, so whether you want to see more of us or just want to help us grow, feel free to sign up following the link in the description below, and hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of the show.
I locked it on accident.
Welcome back.
Oh.
How was your break? Mine was great.
Did you do the things?
We did.
Oh, yeah.
And then some.
But it's the same day, so
yeah,
we're golden. Oh my God!
I mouthed to the camera. I was like, "Watch this," and then I started it.
He's a monster.
I'm worse. I'm worse than the worst.
I don't know about that.
I do.
He's still playing his game.
I
too.
will forever be playing this game. Anyways.
What are we going to talk about?
We're going to talk about...
Who knows?
Yeah, I was trying to word it differently, but who needs the pain management and the stigma behind it, really, and why there should be no stigma behind the need for pain management.
Right. Agreed.
Yeah.
So who needs pain management? How do you know if you need pain management?
Here's the interesting thing. Most people probably don't associate it with like smaller conditions, or like even if you have like a chronic or a 6-month-long issue.
Yeah.
You still probably should look into it, because there, like we said before, there's more than one solution, right? It's not just take meds. There's PT, there's referrals, there's support groups for people who have lost function where they used to have function.
Ablations, surgeries, injections.
So much that they can do.
Like holistic things all over. God. Yeah.
It's crazy. The things that we can do and people don't know about. Like I didn't know that was the thing. I thought it was all just
treatments for pain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had like a vague notion.
Same. Like I knew that it was being looked at. I didn't know how effective it was, or that it would be great for EDS.
Right.
Which it apparently.
Especially finding someone who knew about EDS right off the bat and was like, "Oh yeah, I know these patients who also have this condition who have benefited from this thing."
Yeah.
So really cool. But if you never seek it out, you'll never know what your options are.
Right.
And a lot of people, like, we have this thing with doctors who are not interested in finding answers. And if you stop there, you're gonna stop there. Like.
Yeah, well, then that's so discouraging, right? Like, you're like, I'm going to finally take care of myself. I'm going to the doctor. Yeah. And the doctor's like, I got nothing for you. Right. Like, I guess I'm a piece of shit.
Like my neurologist.
Right. It
was just like, I don't know. And you're like, okay, so what do we do next? I don't know. Nothing, because I don't know. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and we've said it before, but like, doctors have power over people. Because they have the answers, and when you go to one and they don't have the answers, you assume that you're the problem. Like, oh, I'm doing something wrong, or maybe
I didn't explain myself well,
right? Or maybe I can't handle what normal people can handle.
Because there are a lot of interactions where somebody is going to put down or diminish the amount of pain that you're in, and it is so disheartening and so harmful. Ooh, but. If we stop there, we stop there. And then we never know how different life could be if you were treating what's going on. Yeah. And trying to stay caught up with what's going on. But yeah, geez. And it's interesting, like, what was the spread like when you were doing group therapy? Like, what were the reasons people were there?
Oh man, it was all over the place. We had a lot of people for like unstable neck injuries. So there was a lot of people who had like braces on, or they were really careful about their spine stuff. Yeah. But then we had like sports injuries, like a guy who had a bad knee and couldn't walk normally. And there was me, and then someone else had something similar to EDS, another connective tissue disorder. Yeah. And we got along great. We're like, oh yeah, no.
I understand you.
Yeah. It was full of people that didn't want to be there at first, and then they were like in love with it after week 1. So
right. Well, once you go through the process, like I remember I had to take classes and things before I could do the integrated pain services, which was interesting and definitely worthwhile. Like, oh yeah, even if it's just to affirm that you are doing the right things already. Yeah. But there are so many reasons that somebody might look into pain management. And so many like cues that maybe it's time. Because if you've hit a dead end with your general practitioner, it's time to look elsewhere. Right. Because again, if you stop there, you never know what could come next.
Well, like in theory, the GP would be like, this is starting to get out of my hands. I'll refer you to a place. But if you feel like you're at a point where you need the extra help, ask your general practitioner. Like they can send the referral. Or they'll tell you that you don't need it. There's no harm in asking. Right. So if you think you're at a point when you might need it, then at least look into it. Yeah. See what it takes to get in. Yeah. Like some places do like intake, you do like an interview, and then you do like a UA, and then once they get everything back and they look at your history, they'll start working with you. So.
Right. Yeah. Well, and that's the other part is like if you are doing pain management, if you're ready to do that, be ready for there to be more strict rules
Yes.
and agreements that you will need to make to maintain your position in pain management.
Well, here's a good example. The last place, the one that we were talking about before, that can't take me, I was reading their full like breakdown on medications and what you have to do when you come in. And so like they have you bring your med bottles with you. No matter like if they're empty or full, they just bring your med bottle.
Yeah.
They do the count to make sure that it's your bottle because they don't want people like selling off their stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's a thing some people do. And they also have you do a UA, which is not a big deal. And then there was one other one. There was an interesting, like, only in pain management do you get, you know what I mean?
Oh, like the agreement.
Yeah, I think.
Of, like, this is the only place I will seek or receive medication from.
They also had, like, rules like only call us once a day.
Really?
Like, because, well, what'll happen is someone doesn't get their meds right away. They call 1,000,000 times.
Oh,
so their rules like, you can call us once a day. We'll write notes, send it to the doc, but don't spam us or we'll kick you.
Right. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I appreciate that because, they're looking after the office staff and their sanity, which is good because you don't want cranky office staff.
Mm-mm.
They're not going to help you. It's going to be a bad experience for everybody involved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, that's really interesting. Because I remember I had to sign this is the only place I will receive medication from. And I will let them know if some medications have changed or whatever else is going on.
Yeah.
And as long as I'm communicative with them, they're usually really good about working with me. If I'm like, hey, I really badly injured myself this month and went through my medication faster than I meant to.
Right.
Can we refill a week early? But there are times like there are agreements where you have to sign that you will not request medication early.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and then the clause for responsible, like you're responsible for your meds. If you lose them or they get stolen, that's on you, bro. And you have to like file a proper report.
Yes. Well, that's the other one. Like if your meds are ever stolen, in order to get it refilled, you have to have a police report.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep.
So they take it seriously.
Yeah.
For the most part, like at least the good clinics seem to have a system in place.
Yeah.
And like, cause there was one where they were just like, just show up. We'll throw pills at you and whatever sticks you get to keep.
So weird. So weird. And then they like want to blame just regular people or people in pain for the like opioid crisis. And you're like, you did this. We didn't do this. Also, other people's addiction should not mean that I have to like live in pain when there are other options.
Fact.
Just saying.
Yep.
So it's a lot of like making sure that you are open to the experiences and to some of the like processes that you'll have to go through and really knowing what you want to achieve.
Right. Yeah, it depends on what you're going in for, but if you come in with like a plan or at least ideas,
goal,
right? Like here are the things that I'm interested in, and then they'll present you with what they do and what they can do. And they'll surprise you. Like they had a bunch of ads for the back stimulator in the office. And I was like, I want to get one of those.
Yeah. That would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, there's tons of options. So don't limit yourself for fear.
There's no shame in it either.
Right.
Like we haven't really touched on that at all. Like there's a stigma to it. And you're going to run into doctors who are going to read that and think things about you. But as long as you know to yourself that you're not abusing your meds, you're not doctor shopping to get what you want. You're not asking for pills all the time. Like,
right. Well, and a lot of that shame and tension will start to dissipate the more you see that doctor. And the more you build a reputation of being reliable and responsible with your medication.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be hard in the beginning. It just is.
Yep.
But as you build, because here's the thing, you're building a system for yourself.
Yep.
It's not going to appear out of thin air. It's going to suck to have to find it, but don't limit yourself.
Right.
Get help that you need because you are a human person who has value and worth.
Yeah. And
you deserve to be able to live in some kind of comfort.
Well, yeah, here, put it this way, like, is your condition or whatever bothering you, keeping you from doing simple things?
Yeah.
things that you would normally do, even like
quality of life.
Yeah, hobbies that you have that you had to stop. Like
Yeah.
at that point, you should be looking at pain management.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So I think that's where we're at for pain management. And like
She wants to talk about
the shame
doctors.
piece. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know
Yeah.
if we have more to say on that.
We'll probably come back around to it
Okay.
because we're going to be talking about doctors with favoritism,
Yes.
and that's you encounter that a lot.
Well, and favoritism is like all those biases that we see, and oh man, especially for people who have chronic pain and we present in a way that doesn't meet their picture of pain. Oh, you're not getting any help. So
so frustrating.
it's so hard because you go in and you're like, I'm in a level 8 pain, and they're like looking at you like, you look fine, and you're like, oh my god, I'm sorry, I didn't know I had to like win an Oscar to get help.
Yeah.
What?
Oh my god. That reminded me of something, but I forgot what it was.
Oh no.
It was really funny. Oh, when I was at the pain management clinic, they were like, "What's your pain at?" And my gut instinct was like 2. Just say 2. It's 2. Like, what? Why 2, guy? And my was like, because you don't want them to think you're lying.
Exactly.
Like, oh yeah, you're right. They're gonna think I'm lying if I tell them I'm at like 6 and I'm fine.
Yeah, that's it's so frustrating because they're looking for people who appear a certain way. They're looking for people who present textbook. They're looking for specifically white people who present textbook.
Yeah, very much so.
And there's so much like discrepancy between the genders. There's so much discrepancy between like down through weight. Weight is a huge one.
Mental health
And how you appear. Like there's a dress code.
Well, yeah, it's like
a doctor.
I've seen like plenty of doctors that are really sexist. Ones that'll like over prescribe meds to me, but then they see Jen and they're like, "You're a woman.
Fine. You should be used to it."
Yeah, this is why are you here?
Are you sure it's not your period?
No, the kidney stones are definitely not her period. Those are horrible little sharp crystals of doom.
It all comes out the same hole. No, it does not.
Well, that doctor really needs to learn a thing or two.
A lot of them do.
Yeah,
the cervix has no nerve endings.
No, it doesn't. But that's a fact. That's a science fact. You want another
That's
science
why birth
fact?
doesn't hurt.
Women are hysterical. Not funny. They're just in hysteria all the time.
Exactly.
That's a fact. That's a doctor fact. Doctor fact. Dr. Fact 3.
I'm Dr. Facts. And I hate women.
Women have the babies. They need to shut up.
Yeah.
Dr. Fact 4. God, Dr. Fact is a jerk.
He's kind of rude.
Yeah.
Just the worst, in fact. in fact.
Oh, wow.
Great. Man. But the favoritism drives me crazy. Because especially appearance-wise. Because if they make a guess about you and they're sure about that guess...
Yeah, I always try and go in and look presentable.
Yeah.
Because you never know.
But not too presentable.
No.
Because then they're going to be like, well, you're totally fine.
Yeah, exactly.
You look great.
Accessorized with a cane.
Yeah. You're using that wrong.
I was using it wrong, but it's because I needed it to do something it wasn't meant to do.
Exactly. Also, it's really hard to use it right when your joints dislocate.
Exactly.
Ta-da.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, no. We see this a lot. I think more in emergency rooms. We see some of it with like general practitioners.
Yeah.
Especially if we're talking about like, oh, lose 10 pounds and then talk to me about whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in the emergency room, they're kind of...
In the emergency room, you could have pneumonia and be dying of sepsis. And they'll still
give you
Narcan you.
Narcan.
No, trust me. Watch, she's going to be fine in a minute.
Yep.
30 minutes later.
And smug about it.
But why isn't the Narcan stopping the drugs that he obviously is on?
Yeah. Yeah.
What? Excuse you?
Yeah.
And I told this to Jen, the reason I looked like I was nodding off is because I was fighting sleep so hard. Any chance I had to be awake, I was like, take it!
Yeah.
Awake now! And then I would pass out from being septic.
Yeah. But no, we're going to waste time Narcanning you, and then stand there smugly to try to be like, I told you so. You don't know what your husband's taking. He's clearly an addict.
Clearly.
Because they will label you an addict very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
They were all over it.
Well, and
he's up the box zone?
Yeah. Somebody was telling us a story about because they have lost teeth. That a doctor looked at him and was like, so how long have you been off of meth?
Yeah, how long have you been clean? What? What?
I've never done meth. Sure you haven't. Like, what? Excuse you? What? So if you're not like upper middle class, you're not the favorite.
You're not Daddy's
God's favorite.
Yeah. Daddy
Being the doctors.
You.
Yeah. God. I just hate it. It's the most ridiculous thing.
Well, and they don't hide it either. Is the thing.
No,
because
they're positive they're correct.
Yeah, they're so full of themselves that they're like, oh, I know everything.
Like they are just walking ego at that point, jaded ego, and we know why they're jaded. We get it, but also like, could you differentiate people from other people? Maybe just a little bit.
Or it's like they don't approach the interaction. Like they'll look at your chart and then they've made up their mind.
Yeah.
They approach the situation based on whatever gut instinct they have.
Yep.
And mine does not look good. And mine, for the longest time, said I was over-medicated. So that was not playing into my favor.
Right? Anytime I went in for gastro, they would see that I had the Percocet in my list of medications. And they're like, oh, that's why.
No.
And you're like, no, it's not. No, it's not. Stop it.
That's what I'll fight people on now. It's like, dude, I've been on these meds for like 9 years now.
Yeah.
I know what's going on. I know what's new and different.
It's different. Yeah. Oh, that's the other one. Like, well, it must be a panic attack.
Oh my God.
Everything is a panic attack.
Everything's a panic attack until you black out in the tub and then it was a nap.
And then it was a nap. Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. It was a nap.
Yeah, I blacked out in the tub.
You sure you didn't just fall asleep?
You took a nap. No, I blacked out.
He took a nap.
No, he took a nap.
It was a very wet nap.
Oh, man, I missed that tub,
the
though. It was
dumbest
so
thing. I can't believe
you
that.
curl up in like a fetus in this giant barrel of a tub.
And then you
water.
take a nap.
No, then you
accidental drowning nap.
Yeah. That's a drowning.
That's called narcolepsy and is also a thing that we should be concerned about. What? God. Yeah, no, there's like blatant favoritism. And it's interesting between like male and female doctors as well. Because the female doctors are more likely to be super nurturing, but again, with men more than women. Yeah. Because if you don't present the way a woman doctor expects you to, she's going to think that you're just like out for attention. And then they don't treat you right. And then they're like snotty and cold with you.
Yep. What's interesting is like the best caregivers I've had, like best in any of
not doctors.
They're not doctors. No, they're definitely nurse practitioners who have had long careers and decided that this is what they wanted to do.
Or PAs.
Yeah. But then like the first time I meet them, they're usually pretty skeptical. But they're not closed off. They're just like, oh, this is the first time we're meeting.
Right.
They're like getting a feel for you.
That's the other part, is that now we're not spending enough time with our doctors.
Yeah.
At all. The doctors see us for like 8 minutes, maybe. Maybe. Who's talking to us? Who's having conversations about our symptoms? Who's getting more backstory?
Yep.
Who's getting more human connection? It's the nurses.
Yep. Absolutely. 100%.
And the nurse practitioners and the PAs.
Yeah.
Because they're doing all of the face-to-face. And then our doctors come in after reading our chart, barely listen to what you have to say, and then make a judgment that they already made back in their office going over your chart for 10 seconds.
Yep.
And then my favorite is when they go into your chart and they're like, we discussed blah, 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 blah.
Oh, and they lie.
They
blatantly lie.
They just lie. They're like, we discussed the dangers of opiates and offered the patient a route to like get clean. Like, it's just.
But in reality, it was just a slideshow of giraffes.
Insane. They come in and they're just
like we talked in depth about the dangers of opiates and how bad they are for taking them. Like, dude, that was a giraffe. That was 30 minutes of a giraffe. You didn't even say anything.
You just stood there. I'm so confused.
patient is argumentative and impossible to work with.
Irrational.
Yeah.
Just hysterical woman. Wandering uterus. That's a man. Wandering uterus.
Clearly.
It wandered into the man.
Yeah. I hate when that happens.
That's why you don't have sex.
Yep.
Because then you might get a uterus.
Accidentally.
Well, and I think you have more trouble too with male doctors because you don't present in the like, what do I want to say here? Machismo, I guess.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I
And
get
the
what you're
like,
saying.
I have male pride that I'm trying to protect, but I'm also the doctor, and I guess something maybe might be uncomfortable.
No, yeah, there's definitely a disconnect where I'm just like, here are all my problems.
And they're like, what?
Why? You can't just talk about those.
We have to go through 4 sessions of you telling me that you're fine before we can get
That's not my
into
game.
The problem.
Not after year 30 for me. I hit 30 years and I stopped caring.
Yeah.
Life's too short to like beat around the bush, especially with medical care.
Right.
Like just
like you wanted to know why I'm here, and I'm going to tell you why I'm here.
They're the 13 reasons I'm here. In order.
Yeah.
They don't like that.
No.
But the female nurses and doctors, they don't mind.
Yeah. They don't like me though,
no,
because
they hate
I'm flippant.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
we have like the same attitude, but I'm not
funny,
flippant.
ha-ha.
I'm cute and adorable.
You're cute and adorable.
And you're a problem.
I am the
How dare you make fun of people with EDS?
Put it back in the box.
Like, I have EDS
forever.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to make fun of it. And I'm over here like, fuck EDS, right? Those people are stupid bitches. And the doctor's like, yeah, you are.
Helps that he's cute.
Mm-hmm. I flirted my way out of a ticket with a police officer once.
Oh, I believe it.
Major ticket. I was going 115 miles per hour.
Oh my God.
And I got pulled over. And I didn't have
you?
my license on me. No, I had my license. I didn't have insurance. And I didn't have something else.
How old were you?
21?
Oh my God.
Yeah, early 20s. And he walks up, he's like, what's going on? It's like, oh, it's really late. It was like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And we were trying to get to Kaylee's cousin so we could sleep. And I was like, I'm just trying to get here. We're so close. And he was like, let me see your insurance. And I was like, okay. And I looked for it. I don't have it. And my license was outdated. That's what it was. It was an expired license.
Oh my.
And this old white guy is like, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, man. And like,
yeah,
the blue eyes. He made a comment about my eyes.
He used his bi energy.
Did I? I didn't even get a ticket.
Exactly.
I didn't get a warning.
He used his bi.
He's like,
energy.
all right, just make sure you get there safe.
He was like,
Score.
his eyes, they're so beautiful. Can't get.
I always forget about that. That was, oh man, that could have been bad.
The most ridiculous thing.
Yep.
You know the other doctors that I absolutely hate, the ones that are like, oh yeah, no, it's supposed to be like that.
Oh my God. Yes, that one drives me up the wall. Like,
especially okay, so when I had my left hip repaired,
mm-hmm.
I had a nerve block, and I was told 2 days. It will wear off within 2 days.
Yep.
2 weeks went by with me telling every provider I came into contact with, this is still numb. And they were like, oh, yeah, no, that happens. It could be up to 3 days. And then it was 5
like,
days.
15
and then it
days.
was a week. And then it was 2 weeks. And then it was ridiculous because they didn't want to deal with it. So they're just like, no, that's normal.
Mm-hmm.
Totally normal.
It's like when I got that nerve block, or not nerve block, but I did the steroid injections on my shoulder and lost feeling in my arm for years. Yeah.
It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, it'll work itself out. And if you haven't heard the neurology story, that's what my neurologist was basically like. He was like, oh yeah, you had trigeminal neuralgia. It's only been 3 days since you had an episode. So we're going to just hope that never happens again.
Cross our fingers. It doesn't come back.
It was a fluke.
And then it came back.
Yep.
Evan's not gone.
Nope.
He was a sweepy baby.
Yep. It's ridiculous.
Keep him asleep.
And they just like to lie to us. They're allowed to just lie all the time.
I wish they would just say, I don't have time for this. Like, be honest.
Right.
Just tell us that you're not the doc for the case.
Right.
So that I can find another doctor.
Yeah. Well, and you'll also hear the lie of like, oh, well, you don't need a diagnosis. We'll treat you either
my
way.
ass, you don't need a diagnosis. Oh, my God.
Hell.
Hell.
Fight for that.
If I didn't have one when I went to see pain management, he wouldn't have been as nice.
No.
He would have been like, he questioned it. He was like, when did you get diagnosed? And I was like, 2020, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
2018.
Well, for
when
you.
I got diagnosed.
And then I got diagnosed 2 years later.
I think
2020.
So. Yeah.
But, like, you know, I had to defend my diagnosis.
Right. Yeah. It's just, you're looking at people who see people who don't understand their own bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot more of them than there are of us.
Yes.
So you have people who are like, my back hurts. And they're like, how come? And they're like, I don't know.
Right. Well, and those are the kind of guys that, like, the solution could be, like, twisting your left arm counterclockwise at 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
We'll fix it. And they'll just go, okay.
It's so weird. What?
I can do that. Watch me, doctor. I got this. 3 a.m. comes around. He rotates his arm counterclockwise. Ping.
Summons the devil.
Got him.
Another one bites the dust. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus. But yeah, no. Be aware that you're working with a system that's not built for humans.
Yes.
It's built for money.
Okay, so lightning round. Lightning round.
Lightning round.
Lightning round. Don't be ashamed of pain management. Don't make
No.
fun of people for it. Don't look down on people for it.
Definitely don't be like, oh, you need to be careful, because we know.
We're acutely aware. It's
Thank
a
you.
big deal for the person to make that step.
Yeah.
They didn't just go, I'm going to do pain management out of nowhere.
I stubbed my toe.
Most
For
people
pain
agonize
management.
over it.
Yeah.
Like,
Because it feels like a moment of surrender.
mhm.
Like you're giving ground.
Yeah, I hated it. It took me so long. And then I finally found a good one. It was like, I get it.
Yeah. Well, and your experience helped me to come to a point where I was like, okay, no, I need more help than I'm getting.
Yeah,
We're going to give this a shot.
I'm glad. I'm glad I could help.
Yeah.
But
You had to do all the hard work.
yeah, don't be afraid to look around.
Yeah.
Like we've always said, make a team. Find
Yes.
a team member, not somebody who's going to tell you what to do and then be mad when it doesn't work.
Right. Well, and someone who's going to allow you to be a team member,
Yes.
because you need to be on the team of your own care.
You know
It
your
is
body better
important.
than anyone.
You live in it.
Yeah. What
not a
else?
fun place
What
to
else in
be.
lightning round? What else we got?
There are several reasons for people to need pain management, and the moral of that is, if you've come to a point where you're at dead ends, it's time to do something
Yeah.
different. Patience is key.
Oh man. Yeah.
Being open
Being
to
open, that's-
letting them try different things and
Yes.
go through procedures.
Right. Like it may not sound pleasant, but they're not detrimental. I haven't done any treatment and gone, I regret doing it.
Right.
You know, even when I did ablations and they did it horribly wrong and hurt me, I
Right.
was like, at least we're making progress.
Well,
Like,
and that's the thing. If you look at every failure as a learning opportunity,
mhm.
it will feel less hopeless.
Yes.
It will just be data.
Mm-hmm.
Let it be data for your care.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's huge.
What else?
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bum.
Find something where you're going to have like comprehensive care.
Oh yeah. Or build that.
Yeah.
You know,
Make sure you have that on the side if you're going to go with pill pusher Bob over
which was
there.
so nice. Bamba, when we were going over it, she was trying to find a place that did both mental and
Yeah.
pain management, and I was like, you probably won't find it, but I still have my mental team together.
Yeah.
Like my
Yeah.
mental health is managed.
Yeah.
Like
You've got it's solid.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we can just tack on, normal pain management. She's like, oh, thank God. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Cuz it's so important, and like go through the learning, do the therapy.
Yeah.
Therapy on top of pain management is amazing. Get that done if you can do it.
There's a lot of benefits you don't think about,
Yeah.
and it's like not until you do it that you really get it.
Yeah.
So try it.
Right.
And don't be like close it off when you're there.
Right.
Because I saw people that would come into group and they wouldn't talk and they would just sit there and pout the whole
They're
time.
angry that they had to be there.
Right.
Yeah. No. And I mean, be gentle with yourself, but be a good self-advocate,
Yeah.
because only you know what you're going through and what you need.
Yeah.
Right? So, I don't know. make sure that you are a team,
Mm-hmm.
that you're part of that team, that you are well informed, that you have data that you can offer them when making changes.
Yeah. The more informed you are and more information you can bring to the table, usually the better treatment you'll get, because you're showing that you're serious, you're tracking things, and you're not forcing a narrative. Like,
yeah.
And we got a secret bonus one that we didn't cover, but isn't very important. Accountability buddy.
Oh, yes.
If you're seeing doctors for the first time and you have a problem conveying yourself, like, socially, that can be hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Bring someone who knows you and knows what you've been through, and they'll help you keep your story straight and be honest.
Yeah. We've done appointments together.
Mm-hmm.
I went with Summer to her neurology. Like, it helps.
Even if you don't say anything, you're still there to support them, and they're more likely to be honest.
Well, and maybe they can describe things from the outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can only describe it from the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing what things look like from the outside can be really valuable.
Yeah.
But keep at it. Don't stop. Don't let closed doors be the end of the line for you. Like, seek out the open ones.
You're going to find so many closed doors, but you'll find eventually a door.
Yeah.
It just takes a while to get there.
We just don't want you to turn away from care.
Right.
Because I think it happens all too often where people hit that dead end and they assume that there's nobody that's going to help them, and they just need to bear it in silence and alone.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other one. Don't be alone.
Yeah.
Please don't be alone.
You're not alone, really. If you feel like you're alone, join our Discord. Yes. Talk to us. You can message us privately too.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're here always.
Yeah. 100%. Anything left to add?
I don't think so.
Right.
We were going to talk types of pain management models, but we kind of
covered it. Yeah. Like with what you're looking for versus the ones that are just like, I always picture this like pop-up shack that's just like, dang, here's your medication. Well, it's like a window
from what I've
on a beach
seen, you can tell if it's a good or bad pain management clinic based on the lobby, the waiting room. When it's full, probably pill pushing. That's how it's been. When I've gone to clinics that don't push meds, they're usually less people. They've scheduled everything appropriately. Yeah. They're not busting through people.
Mm-hmm. There was one other thing that I was thinking about. Oh, if you want to like really get to know a clinic, look at the reviews left by employees.
Yeah, was it Green Door?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, let me double check. But this is what Jen and I do. We look at what ex-employees have to say about the place.
Because they're not going to hold back.
No. And you'll see very clearly right off the bat. Oh, I forgot what it's called. I'm just thinking a bunch of Green Doors now. I don't know why my brain went Green Door. Just look it up. Like, look for reviews left by previous employees.
Yeah. I think you can find them on Indeed too.
Yeah.
There's like Indeed for employees or something where you can look at the reviews employees have left. Backdoor, is that what it?
I'm checking. Because I want to know what this is.
Oh yeah. I think another point to make.
Glassdoor. Go to Glassdoor, look up your company that you're dealing with or that location, and you'll get the dirt.
Yes. Get the dirt. And last but not least, I think be aware that doctors are human beings who have biases, who have been jaded by the system, who are probably not treated very well by the system themselves.
Yeah.
Remember that they are human beings and that they're going to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And that they have their own like
lives.
Tightly held beliefs and systems, and what they've learned is not complete a lot of the time either. So
yeah, a doctor can be wrong. It's amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
Anything else?
I think that's it. I think we covered it.
Covered it
in dirt.
We buried it. A sad day. So sad.
You saved it for later. It's a time capsule.
All right. So next week we'll probably do evaluating sources.
Yes.
And what was the one that goes with that?
Medical anxiety.
Oh God. Yeah, dude. Medical
That'll be a
anxiety.
good
Wow, look, my eyes are so blue. Caught myself off guard.
He's flirting with himself again.
Hi, guy. What's up? What you doing later?
But yeah, next week.
Yeah, next week.
Next week.
Okay.
All right. Time for a shameless shill here. If you have enjoyed this, if you watch our videos on YouTube, please make sure you like it, share with friends or on forums if you can. And if you're not subscribed already, please do that.
Also,
we'd love to have you.
Hit the bell icon. It gives you notifications when we do things.
Yeah.
And we've been using like the community tab to let people know things. Like one of our lives didn't work, so we had to leave a note.
Yeah. Ring the bell in the tab.
Ring the bell in the cloud. Put a bell in a clown.
In a clown?
In a clown.
Oh.
That's why they go ding.
Oh,
anyway.
I hate that.
Also, we have a Teespring. If you
We
guys
do.
are interested in merch, we're going to be updating it with more
Give
patterns.
more designs.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're going to have raccoon designs or trash panda designs.
Good stuff coming.
And also, we have a Patreon called the Patreon.
The Patreon.
And if you want to support us or just want to see more stuff, we have our full episodes there, unedited, no ads, just us from beginning to end.
Yep. So
you get what you get.
all of the prep time and all the silliness that comes before the actual shoot.
Yep.
Which is a lot of fun.
And we're posting our music reviews there.
Yep.
We only have one, but we're working on getting more.
Yes.
Okay.
We
calm
might
down.
read one today, maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
What else do we have on there? Oh, a lot of our old playlists too. So like
Yeah.
our old lives end up archived there, and it's fun. Just if you want to help, it helps.
And
You can
shout
get us
out
coffee.
to our current patrons.
who are
Who's still
who's still there.
I know, I'm like, Krieg.
I'm
for
pretty
sure.
sure Kaylee's still around.
Ruth.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I think it was Crystal who had to. Maybe Crystal's still there. I don't know who's
We
still
don't
on.
know. We're
I
just
don't know.
winging
We'll
it.
have to look.
Winging a prayer, bro.
Yeah. But if you want to buy us a coffee, we would greatly appreciate it. And you get some fun extra content.
Yes, sir.
Whoa, he's still looking for our thing.
Okay. You entertain them for 5 seconds while I just pull it up.
Oh, no.
Be entertaining.
Do
Do the dance.
the dance?
Do the dance.
You're a dance.
Euro dance.
No.
No.
Euro trip.
Let us
Yeah.
see. We have 4. We have Crystal. We have Ruth. We have Krieg.
And we have Dweeb.
Yeah.
Perfect. Ah, see, we got them all.
And Firebird Free and Christy Styles.
Oh, excellent.
So, welcome everybody.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Good to have everybody.
And as
Good
always,
stuff. Oh, yes. It's time to go. So, be kind to you. Be kind to others. And we'll see you in the next one.
bye. Whoop-pa! It's always a whoop-pa-pa! Yeah, it looks like we have some newbies.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. Thank you guys again.
Yeah.
That's
That's
very
really
sweet.
awesome.
And then look at our stuff. We got pins. We got
Oh,
cans.
no. So, it's just the 4. I don't know who the other
The other
ones
2 are they're not paying.
Oh, I
they're
see.
on
Okay.
the Patreon.
Ah, that's
And then you're
cool.
showing your speech.
Yep.
You're looking pretty good.
I have not found a lot musically.
Let me see. Well, most of my music is way not interesting. It's like
Way not interesting.
YouTube music. You know what I mean? Like
okay.
it's like it's not from an album. It's from somebody's imagination.
Well, should we pick a mood and go?
Let's
through-
pick a vibe.
What's the vibe today?
Remix.
Remix the mood.
Or not. I'm just stupid. What can I say?
Wah, wah. We're gonna try.
If I can find
I
one.
think
I don't want to force it. Like I'm kind of tired.
that's fine. We can stop.
I know what I want to play though.
What is?
No, I can't tell you. It's a secret.
Oh, it's a secret.
It's a secret because I got to
Okay.
present it to you.
Fine. I guess that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is what it is. Let's stop
All
the
right.
recording.
Yes. Time to be done.
Goodbye,
Goodbye.
Patreon. We love
we
you.
love you.
Jinx.
Get out of my head.
Never. He said.
Randy, would you stop the